Hi everyone, I got a question for you. Is your birthday important? What is your value of your birthday? Why does God feel that your birthday is a special occasion? I can answer that for you by reading to you from Psalm 139. And it tells you in Psalm 139 that you were wonderfully and fearfully made. That means you're not an accident. That means you're not a mistake. You were purposely made by God. And it says in Psalm 139 that he formed you in those inward parts. He shaped your life. He gave you purpose and destiny, and he gave you length of days. So that means to God, your birthday was created in the mind of God before the foundations of the earth. God needed something done. You were the person that he put together to be able to fulfill that. You are incredibly important to God. Your birthday is incredibly valuable to God. God saw fit to bring you and I into life in the time that he did because he gave us something specific to do that only you and I can fulfill. Now think about your child. You didn't just get married and have children. Those children were predestined before the foundations of the earth. They are gifts from God. They are gifts in your quiver from the Lord. Each one has a specific calling and destiny in God. And we get the opportunity of speaking blessing and releasing blessing and creating blessing into their situations so we can help shape their destiny and their purposes in God. And that's very, very important for us to understand. The story of Samson. Samson was born to be a Nazarite. But before he was born, an angel appeared to his mother and then to the father, Manoah. And Manoah asked the angel, what will be the rule of this boy's life? In other words, the father wanted to know what was the purpose of Samson being born. And that's the question that you and I need to ask as parents. What is the purpose of God giving me this child? What is God's desire for this child? And then we can get to the place where we can begin to speak blessing. I spoke to you last time about blessing, and I used an example of a child named Barry, for example. Well, let me give you an example again. You lay your hand on Barry's head on his birthday, and you say, son, this is a day that God ordained for you to be born. This is the day that God chose for you to come in and begin your purpose on this earth for him. This is the day that I released to you and called to you the power of God to empower you, to create success in your life, to shape your purpose and your destiny, that you will fulfill what you've been called to do. So my son, I bless you to perform all that God's asked you to do. I release you in that dimension to do what God's asked of you. And as you bless your child in this way, the child begins to understand that they are valuable, that they have purpose, that there's meaning to the reason that they're on this earth. And it's more than just a natural one. It's a supernatural gift from God upon this earth. To close off this little concept, if you open your Bibles to Genesis 28, Isaac, one of the forefathers of our faith, had a son called Jacob. And when Jacob was leaving home, this is what Isaac the father prayed. And this one I'll read to you. It's from Genesis chapter 28, as I said. Genesis 28, and from verse 3 it says, may God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and multiply you, that you may be an assembly of peoples, and give you the blessing of Abraham to you and your descendants, that you may inherit the land in which you are a stranger, which God gave to Abraham. So there you can see, here is Isaac the father, and he's laying hands on his son, and he's blessing him into his future destiny in God. And folks, that's the privilege that we have of being parents. And so I want to encourage you, look at that child as a gift from God. Don't look at that child as a problem, as an issue. Look at that child with such love and begin to lay hands of blessing over them, declaring to them the purpose of God for them, and watch what God will do. And so the Lord bless you at home. The Lord's peace be in your house. The Lord's peace be in your heart. And the Lord's grace find you in Jesus' name.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel by clicking here. Also, if you're in the Stark County area of Ohio, please join us at Cornerstone Chapel on Sundays at 10 a.m. We'd love to have you.